I very genially welcome Mr. Amit ji among our miss. I'm really very glad to be having bestowed upon the privilege of welcoming Mr. Amit ji. Of course, we have known you for quite some time through our sessions, but the children are not aware. So I would just like to share a few words about you. Dear all, we are really greatly happy to have Mr. Amit ji among our midst. His huge career and his exhaustive experience, I'm sure, will help us to understand a lot about IT industry and pursuing it as a career, because now one of the most fascinating word or acronym or abbreviation amongst the children and amongst the youngsters is IT. So everybody likes to be an IT professional. So it is just vaguely understood what is meant by IT, what is the job nature. So here in front of us, we have Mr. Amit, who has all the experience about IT industry, who is going to guide us. I am sure this session is going to be very informative and very knowledgeable with a lot of insights for us, especially for those children who are aspiring to get into IT industry. So once again, Amit sir, I warmly and genially welcome you to our Amits. Really, we are very blessed to have you with us. And of course, a very affectionate welcome to Mr. Sunny ji, and a warm welcome to our secretary, and then a very hearty welcome to all the students who have just joined this meeting. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you, and I hand over the platform to Mr. Amit and Mr. Sunny. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Amma. I love this welcome and regard and respect as always. And PVM is my own family. So I feel very lucky that, Nitya ma'am is blessing us, Vidya ma'am is welcoming us, and we have the best of lead, expert, experienced leaders from various fields to bless our children, to share their wisdom, to share the lessons, some technical lessons, some life lessons. So it is truly an honor, a matter of joy and filled with gratitude. And I feel the richest and the most fortunate to have Amit Ganguly sir, who is a coach, who is a trainer. And the best part, what I love about him is he was vice president of Accenture. So miles to go, so much to learn. I will not come in between you and the students now. So students, ask a lot of questions, be very interactive, and gain from him. Thank you. Over to sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Sunny sir. And good evening, students. Good evening, everyone. As mentioned, that my name is Amit Ganguly, and totally I have about 25 years of experience in the IT industry or in the IT sector. If I talk little bit about myself, my passion is about teaching and coaching. And mostly because of that, I have spent about 18 plus years related with learning and development sector in some or other form basically. Now, one more thing I would like to mention here during my regarding my journey is this 25 years of my career, I had worked with various different managers and leaders. Now, as an individual, again, I am a good observer. That's what I found. And I have observed the good and not so good characteristics of each of those managers or leaders and tried to adopt the good behavior from them. Also, being passionate about teaching and coaching, I am a continuous learner. So, learning various different aspects of people management and leadership behaviors and all these things kind of came or comes quite naturally to me. Now, as Vidya Madam said that today many of the children have an aspiration to develop or build their career into the IT sector predominantly. So let me share a few of my learning, which I personally feel that would help you during your professional journey. And in fact, some of them might or should help you in your personal life as well once you grow up. Um, Now, one thing very important, very honestly, children, is any profession, not only in IT industry per se, any profession, anywhere, we always must have the right attitude. That's very important. People who hold the right attitude, positive attitude, it's very difficult to stop them. See, one thing I would like to mention here is in all our life, uh, I mean, life journey is not um, always smooth, right? It's just like a road journey. So some portion of the road is very nice, beautiful road, super express highway kind of thing. No pothole, nothing, no hump, no speed breaker. You can drive whatever speed you want to drive. Some places it is not so good. So there will be some potholes, some ups and downs kind of thing. It's our life is also exactly like that. So uh, people who are or who always hold a positive attitude, for them managing the uh, so-called bad days or little humpy bumpy days kind of thing becomes much more easier. So that is the first thing which I would like to mention. Always have the positive attitude. Now the second thing is in IT industry particularly, people who have a go-getter kind of attitude, they are always been appreciated. See, one thing I would like to mention here is in IT industry, specifically in IT industry. I mean, why I'm saying IT industry, because I know that industry pretty well. Other industries, I don't have a direct experience, but I guess it is true for almost any private sector industries or any private organization. It's very important that we show our value to the organization. See, ultimately, at the end of day, if we think from the management perspective, management of the organization perspective, owner of the organization perspective, or the shareholders of the organization perspective, whom should I pay salary to? Definitely to the people who adds value to the organization, not the other folks. So that's why um, you might be seeing in the newspaper or various different places that this organization is retrenching so many people, this, that, and all these things. I mean, yes, during COVID, it is little, some cases the numbers are little on the higher side. But normally in the private sector, especially in the IT sector, it's a norm. Every year after the performance appraisal, they identify the bottom performer, I mean the top performer, middle level performer, and the bottom performer, and they let go the bottom performers. I mean, they of course give a chance to improve. If they don't improve, they ask them to leave. Uh, Sounds very harsh, but very honestly, again, I would say think from a different perspective. Think from the management perspective. Ultimately, by the end of day, our everyone's salary is being paid by our customers or clients, right? Now, why customer or client will pay the salary of someone who is non-productive, not useful for the organization, or not useful for them, right? So that is the reason I am saying that this go-getter attitude is very, very, very important. Now, how to become a go-getter or how to become a go-getter kind of person? Few things which not directly related. I mean, some of them, the first few things are not directly related to be a go-getter, but it more of less regarding or related with having the attitude, again the right attitude of the person, right? One thing, always be punctual. If your uh, in time is, say, for example, 9 a.m. or whatever it might be, please ensure that you are there on your desk productive by 9 o'clock. Now, why I am saying productive? Because I personally have seen people are entering the office, say, 8:55, put their bag, go for breakfast in the cafeteria, and after that coming back at 9:30. So the point is, I have lost 30 minutes. Now, again, one of my manager earlier used to say that who will pay the bill of yours or your salary for these 30 minutes. So you need to come at 8:30 if you want to have breakfast in office cafeteria. Fair enough, that facility is there, you definitely can avail that. But in that case, you need to come at 8:30, have your breakfast 9 o'clock. If it is clock in time is 9 or clock in time is 9, then 9 o'clock you should be productive. You should start working basically. So that is point number one, punctual or punctuality. Why I am emphasizing on this is in the Western countries, many of us, I mean Indians, people who are working from India have a pretty bad name regarding punctuality. So uh, I mean, our Indian Standard Time (IST) has a different nomenclature altogether there for them. So that perception we need to change. We need to, at least by ourselves, we need to prove that Baba, we are not like those people who always be late or lazy or chalta hai kind of attitude. Not like that. So punctuality is number one for you know to be visible. One more thing, children, I'd like to mention. Again, I am talking about the IT industry. Visibility, for good reason, of course, is very, very, very important. I personally have learned it in a hard way. What do I mean by visibility? I mean, why am I saying that visibility is very important? Because see what happens. You might be doing a lot of great things. Now, if you only know about it, honestly, in the private sector, especially in the IT sector, that's of no use. So people should know about it. Your supervisor and few other people at the senior level whose words or whose opinion matters should know that yes, Amit Ganguly is doing a great job. If that doesn't happen, then I was talking about this performance appraisal. So people will not praise about you, people will not talk about you, and as a result, even if you are doing great work, good work, even if you are deserving candidate might be to get the best possible hike, salary hike, or even a promotion, you might not get it. As simple as that. So visibility is very important, and of course, positive visibility, not the negative visibility. So that is another important point. The next point is ensure that you always be ethical, maintain the ethics. Never practice anything which is unethical, not right, kind of thing. Now, almost every organization, they have a ethics practice or ethics rule book kind of thing. Ethics and policies and ethics and policies and so on and so forth. Now, we must must follow those ethics or those policies whether we like it or not. Again, I will share my experience. There are people who says, no, this policy is bullshit. This policy is good for nothing. Now the point is, if you are not the owner or not in a very senior position of that organization who can change the policy or at least influence to get the policy changed, then complaining doesn't lead us anywhere, right? Will anything change because I am complaining? Not really. So in that case, what happens is better is we should accept, adopt, and practice those things. follow those policies rather than arguing or keep on cribbing about this is not good, that is not good, and all these things, and increasing your blood pressure and putting your moral down. These two things will happen if we crib where we cannot change anything. So, I mean, either become a change agent, reach to a position where you can make changes, or else follow it. Next point, very important point again. Uh, Again, especially for the IT industry, always be open to move out of your comfort zone. There are people who love to be there within their comfort zone. Now, there is a major, uh, I would say, not only roadblock, there is a major risk there. So, what happens is, say, for example, if I take my example, I have started my career as a technical trainer. Now, if I would have stick to that, in that case, what happens is after some time, first of all, for that you will need to keep on upgrading this, that, and that's a secondary part. I'm not getting into there. The bigger problem is uh, there will be a lot of technical trainers. So your growth will not be there. I mean, how will you grow in the organization or in your life, right? So to grow, it is very important that we start doing something different. Now, we need to take some risk, calculated risk, of course. I mean, based on your age and level. When you guys are young, started your career maybe 2-3 years just now, there you can definitely take a comparatively bigger risk. At the age of 40, 45, you might not be in a position to take a big risk. But what I'm saying is net is we always need to move out of our comfort zone and see what different thing we can do, what new things we can try. One more, a very standard word used in IT industry, BAU, business as usual. So what happens? I'll take an example. Suppose so far there is no training calendar for your organization. So you took an initiative and started making the training calendar. Fair enough. First year, wow, beautiful thing. Because why? It's a new thing. Second year, you maintained it. You we usually call it industrialization of the process, or we have industrialized the process. We have made it a process, and it will now kind of go in autopilot. Now, in year three, if you still say I am managing the training calendar, then the question comes: so what? What's new that you are doing for last 2 years? What additional thing? What new thing have you done? So that's why moving out of the comfort zone, doing something new is very, very, very important. Also, if you aspire to grow in the organization ladder to a much higher position, might be, I'm not talking about the CEO level and all, but at least to a decent senior position, leadership position. In that case, if you know only one trade, one trick, that's not good enough. You might be master of one thing, agreed, but you should know something around that also. And that should be a decent knowledge, not a very, very high level superficial knowledge. Decent knowledge. May not be master, but decent knowledge. That's very important. So that's why I'm emphasizing on the moving out of the comfort zone. Uh, Now, the question comes that how do you move out of the comfort zone? So, I mean, one thing is have courage, try to do something different, try to do the same thing also differently. That is also fine to start with. Uh, Now, let me give an example. Suppose you are a Java developer, you are a Java programmer, right? Or anything, any technology, be it Java, be it .NET, anything, any technology. Now, what happens is you foresee that the market demand for Java is either going down or more or less flat. I mean, again, Java is just an example, just to take a name. I with all due respect to Mr. Java, I'm just taking a name. So, and instead of that, say for example, artificial intelligence or machine learning or those kind of things are becoming a buzzing word, right, in the industry you identified. So one good thing would be that you consider of, you know, learning that particular technology. And second thing is, after learning, see, there are three, I would say three phases of learning. One is pure learning. I learned the syntaxes or how to do coding or how to do XYZ things. I just learned. Now, if I say I learned it, who the hell in the world is going to believe me? No one. Trust me, no one. So the next step is certification. I'm talking about the technical area. You need to do a certification, which has value in the market. Which has some value in the market. We need to do some certification for that. Now, number three is after getting the, after having the learning, after doing the certification, the third thing is experience. I know this. Say again, artificial intelligence, for example. I have a certification on AI, but I do not have a project experience. Now, think, put yourself as a project manager or project leader's shoe, and think that someone has come saying, look, hey, look, I know this, I have certification for this. Do you have experience? No. You will be good only when you are the first person who got trained and certified in that particular technology, at least in that organization, right? In that case, fair enough. I mean, they don't expect someone to have experience, of course. But there is only one role, and here the project manager or the project leader has already got another person who has, say, 6 months experience also. Whom will he or she select for that particular role? Definitely the person who has experience. So the question comes, how to get the experience? I mean, see, this is true for even when you are trying for a job also. Trust me. I mean, it's a I would say catch-22 situation. Everybody wants experienced people. Nobody wants to take fresher. I mean, of course, other than the organization who recruit freshers through campus and various different other sources. There are now there are a good number of organizations who recruit freshers also. But earlier, when I started my career, honestly, there was no one who was willing to take the freshers. So you really need to, uh, make yourself ready to sell yourself that, okay, fine, I don't have the experience, but still I have the XYZ things, so that you should take me, kind of. Anyway, so in the project also the same applies. Now, how to get the experience? Since you are working already in that organization, and I am assuming for under the same umbrella, either in the organizational umbrella or departmental umbrella, wherever it might be, you are working, say for example, for our example, Java developer, you want to move or got trained and certified in artificial intelligence, and there is a project in artificial intelligence. Now, to gain experience, one thing is you approach your project manager and also the project manager of the other project where AI is being used, and tell that, look, I got trained, I got certified, I am really keen to work on this particular technology, but tell your existing manager, don't worry, I am not jumping the boat right now or straight. I will work for you. Now, there are two possibilities. I will work for you, say, 70% of my time, 70% of the day, basically. I will work for you. 30% I will work for the other project manager on AI. If that project has an opportunity to have a shadow resource, in that case they will agree. Now again, I have used another terminology, jargon, shadow resource. Now what is the shadow resource? The shadow resource is someone who will be working along with one experienced guy, and the other guy, inexperienced person, will not charge to the end client. So client is happy. I mean, for client, only one person is working. Now, whether I have one, I mean, two, three, four, five guys behind that one guy, client doesn't care, right? So that is one option. Now that shadow option and all these things are not always be there. The second option is you will have to stretch at least for few months. So you tell your manager that okay, fine, I will give you 70 or 80% of my time, and trust me, I will get everything done. My responsibility, whatever is my responsibility, whatever is my job, I will get that done. You don't have to, recruit or get someone in my place, because he cannot get a person for 20% of the time, 20% of the day. So I will complete my part of the work, and then I will stretch. I will, instead of spending 8 hours or 9 hours in the office, I will spend 15 hours in the office and work with the other group and be a shadow resource or whatever billable resource. I will learn. So this few months of stretching, again, this is the one I talked about, this go-getter attitude, right? So this is another example. So we need to be focused. We need to work hard. We need to spend some additional time, extra time, and learn new things. Move out of the comfort zone, got the new thing in your hand, be expert or master of that subject or that skill or technology. Then gradually you can completely transition to the new project. So that is another point. I mean, this moving out of the comfort zone and all these things. Now, next one. Again, a very important one where many of us we lack. Whatever is your responsibility today, or we call it as KRA, key responsible area. Suppose on a consistent manner, you have observed that you don't really need to spend 9 hours per day to get the job done. You could complete the job, say, in 7 hours, for example. Two possibility. One is your workload is little less. Second, you are a smart worker, so you can complete it quickly. Many of us, what we do is we sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. 2 hours, either go home early or spend time in cafeteria, newspaper, social media. There are a lot of things, lot of ways to spend time. Right? That is the biggest mistake we do. If you have time, always please tell your manager that, boss, I have about 2 hours or 1 hour, whatever it might be, almost on every day. Can you please give me a new assignment? Something new, something different. Can you please offload some of your tasks to me? How does it help? Number one, during the appraisal, people who have done that always get a higher valuation, right? They are always appreciated. Second advantage is whenever the question of promotion comes in the IT industry, there is a very common term is being used, whether this fellow is already working at the next level or not. So if you had bandwidth, some spare time, and if you have asked your manager to offload or download some of his tasks to you, in that case, not 100%, but that 10%, 20%, you are already working at the next level. So you will have an edge. during appraisal discussion, during promotion discussion. Possibility for you will be higher compared to your peer groups. So that is again important part. Uh, Next important thing, it's the reverse way. Assume that your plate is already full. You are already fully loaded or even might be 10% overloaded. Instead of completing the whole thing in 9 hours or 8 hours, a stipulated hour, either the whole time is being utilized or at least or might be even little more. At that scenario, at that point of time, your manager came and tell yourself that, uh, well, can you do something else? Can you do something else? I mean, I have another assignment for you. So can you take that assignment? Now the point is, if you say yes, then there is a high possibility that you might not be able to do justice, either whatever you are doing or the new task. Many of times we have a bad habit, we cannot say no. Whatever boss is saying is gospel truth or Bible. We will have to do it. Agreed. But in that these kind of scenarios, if I cannot do the justice of the work, tomorrow I will be penalized. Trust me. That time nobody will remember that I have been fed extra and that's why I had stomach upset. Nobody will remember that. So people will say that you are non-performer. You have screwed up this project. You have goofed up these things. People will all remember those bad things. Not a single good thing. So the point is, how should I know? Say no? Don't say no bluntly. Put it this way: that boss, you have already assigned me A, B, C, and which is taking up my full time. Now, if you are giving me this, I might not be able to do justice for this new task. So can you help me please to reprioritize any of the task? So you are not saying no. You are not saying I will not do it. You are just saying you are seeking advice. So two possibility, either boss can reprioritize or from his experience he can tell some tricks so that you can do your existing things faster. So you learn something new. The last or one but last thing is, always, always if you have a problem, tell that yes, I have a problem. Yes, there is a problem. When you have a problem, saying no problem is bad thing. It's horrible thing. So if you have a problem, please speak out the problem. Oh, important. Many of times we fail to do that. Second thing, if there is a timeline to complete a task, always respect the timeline and ensure that you complete within the timeline. If you feel that it might not be possible to complete the task within the timeline, then very important that you tell upfront, at least some, give your manager or supervisor also some time, that boss, it is not possible to complete this by so and so date and time. Don't tell in the 11th hour, because if you come back in the 11th hour and if you fail to deliver, basically, in that case what is going to happen is your credibility will be lost. Tomorrow you might not get any critical assignment, and if that happens, that will impact you during your appraisal. So again, positive attitude, go getter attitude, and be very focused, right? That's the mantra. All right, so we have spent quite a good time. So let's have the question answer session. Any question, anything?
Yeah, so we'll quickly take feedback from students, what they learned. We'll start from Sandhya.
Sure.
Hari Om, sir.
Yes, Sandhya.
I have learned many things, sir, but how we can do this?
Do this.
Okay. So, what is one quality you learned to, rise as a wonderful professional in IT?
Yes, sir.
என்ன குவாலிட்டி கத்துக்கிட்ட அது சொல்லு.
I have learned punctuality.
Right.
What else? What qualities did you see in Amit sir? So I'll come back to you, Sandhya. Good thought. Let me quickly move to Amit sir. Your quick answer, Amit sir.
Few things. One is definitely punctuality is very.
Amit sir, one second. There
Oh.
are two Amit sirs.
Okay,
There's
okay,
one
okay, okay,
छोटा
okay.
Amit sir, Amit Shukla भी है.
Okay, okay, okay.
जी जी जी.
Sorry.
Sorry sir.
No problem.
My mistake.
No problem.
So
Amit Shukla ji.
good evening
हाँ
to
sir.
one and all present here. I just listening to all the circumstances and the things which should be taken care as an engineer as well as to be taken care by IT. Yeah, as we Sandhya is remembering about we said punctuality. Along with that, the main thing what I came to know about the small words which I like to put it there is like also having some type of group discussions and we can have something about the analytical way of representation of any matter like how much you can able to remember the data and you should not be in your own comfort zone, come out of your comfort zone, then the other so many things like
Amit Shukla ji, ये comfort zone, if you can explain a bit for students, what is your view? Give me some example of being in comfort zone.
yeah, comfort zone means we can say as you are having a programming code, right? So in programming code you are typing in the same way and there are a lot of things you can do in programs and innovative ways and creative ways, but syllabus is there, fine, we have the syllabus and we should go as per syllabus, but those who really want to go from comfort zone, they can also have able to explore more about Python and they can able to create so many platforms or so many extra things they are
Wonderful,
able to
wonderful. Thank you so much, Amit Shukla ji.
sure
I'll quickly move to the students. Amazing inputs, good revisions. Thank you.
thank you sir.
Ashwin C. Techno. Yes, Ashwin.
Hari Om sir.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Amit sir.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om to everyone.
What
Sir,
was
I
your
have learned
takeaway, Ashwin?
Sir, the passions and the way sir have explained everything, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think one word says it all. We need to have that passion. Yeah. Amazing, Ashwin. Proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bhavadarini. Yes, Bhavadarini. Can I move to someone else? We have Sandhya today. Sindhu Lahari. Yes, Sindhu.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Sindhu. Happy to hear you. Quick points from you. What all you learned?
Sir, I've learned about we should come out from our comfort zone and work.
Okay, okay,
and punctuality, and
okay. And did you feel proud of India that 1/3 of the employees in Accenture are from India?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So we need to learn a lot of things, right? So
Yes.
good, Sandhya. Very nice. I'll quickly move to Nikita. Yes, Nikita. Rahul Surya, you want to add something?
Sir, we should be how much we are interested in learning it
Superb, superb. I think you
actually.
touched my heart. This learning is really, really, really important. We should keep learning. That is what Sir started, that he has a passion for learning and he did not stop learning. He's a good observer. He continues to learn. Amazing. Very good, Rahul.
Thank you.
Dharnesh, R.S. Dharnesh. Shravan.
Sir,
Yes, please. What did you learn?
sir, I learned punctuality and moving out of the comfort zone and ethical. Sorry, sir. Ethical and patriotism. And
Wonderful. Give me one example of moving out of comfort zone.
sir, example is um,
Comfort
depending
zone is
upon.
mute and camera off, sitting simply. Uncomfortable is asking
Ah,
questions, sharing doubts,
yes, sir.
and doing what you don't like.
Sir,
Correct? Doing what you don't like to do, but which is right to do.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dharnesh. Mridula.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Mridula. See,
Sir,
I admire your confidence. Go ahead.
sir, we should be able to face any situation in our life, sir, and we should adapt to that situation, sir.
Amazing, amazing. That's how we grow, and we'll grow like Amit sir, Amit Ganguly sir,
Yes.
and Amit Shukla sir also.
Everyone.
He must be smiling now. Yeah. So thank you, Mridula.
Thank you, sir.
Srinidhi Shivani.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om. See, PVM students are so confident. Go ahead.
How to get go-getter attitude?
Superb, superb. So what is go-getter attitude? Konja explain banna.
We should adopt to everything and accept everything
Okay.
and
Fix a goal
try
and
something new.
yeah. Solama.
We should try something new and different every day.
Beautiful. You know, your parents, school will be so proud of you, listening to you. My God, Srinidhi Shivani, great answers. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sabita.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Sabita. You don't know how happy I am when I listen to Hari Om, when I listen to loud, confident voices. And I'm sure Amit sir must be so happy. Both the Amit sirs. Yes.
Hari Om, sir. I learned about the disability punctuality, sir.
Okay.
And we should adopt to everything, sir.
Okay. What about Uncle Java? Should we stick on to only one technology or be multitasking? and learn all
Multitask.
tech. Yeah, be ready. And last point sonar sir, that whenever you feel that deadline is not comfortable, you stand up and share your deadline because it is related to delivery to the customer.
Yes, sir.
நம்ம ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றோம், ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் பண்ணணும், and if we don't deliver it on time, the whole company is going to collapse. Last minute you just can't say no sir, I did not complete. So discuss with your manager and share. Amazing, Sabita. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Sanjay, Kritik? Yes, Sanjay. Okay, then I think over to Vidya ma'am for a wonderful conclusion, some points, some thank yous.
So good evening all once again. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Just two things I would like to share before starting my vote of thanks. So one thing is that Sunny sir was asking repeatedly for an example coming out of the comfort zone. I think the entire world is now coming out of the comfort zone because of this pandemic situation. Otherwise, such things like visible at all, classrooms, home, nothing would have been possible. So I feel this pandemic has really helped come out of our comfort zone. This is one thing which I would like to share. And sir, Amit sir, while you were talking, I was just trying to correlate every things which are used in IT industry to the school.
Right.
So for example, punctual, then visibility, of course, we know the students who academically perform well or can win some prizes, or of course, to be on the other side, also they become visible. So, of the, I feel, go-getter attitude and being out of comfort zone, these two areas, I think the school education should implement more and give opportunities, because from very clear overall and insight like how the IT industry works out. So if these skills are imbibed in our children, I think everybody will become an IT professional. That is a sustaining IT professional. This is what I think. This is not, as far as I understood, not only pertaining to IT industry. Any profession take up, if you to become full, you have to be a go-getter, that is dating yourself. You have to come out of your comfort zone, something new. First of all, as one of students said, passion, flair for the particular profession are very essential. See, Amit sir, I think we have learned a lot of important added values apart from academics, which can take us to a very great extent. Not only it may be any age, any profession, any subject they want to, any profession the students want to lead to. Basic skills, if everyone gets equipped, so surely they can come out in flying colors in any profession they choose. But really, it was really amazing. I was really spellbound by how you explained all the particular aspects. So I could really feel like as if I was journeying through an IT industry with your words. It was so clear, and we could understand greatly how an IT environment is. I profoundly thank you, sir, for giving us such a great insight. In almost some 45 minutes, you have really taken us given us a walk through the IT industry. That's what I would like to state. Thank you very, very, very much, sir, for sharing your experiences. Really, it's a great learning for us. It's an eye-opening session for us to know something about IT industry. Thank you once again, Amit sir, very much. Sunny sir, special thanks to you for bringing us such a great personality in front of us and giving us an opportunity to interact with them. And surely these new words like go-getter, then out of comfort zone, that positive attitude, all these are new words to our students. And surely they would have learned some of these values. At least, but many of them, I'm sure, will also take it up in their lives too. Thank you very much, Sir Sunny Sir. And once again, a very warm thanks to our Mr. Ganguly Sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my honor and privilege. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am.